In the tamattu, you combine the two. I mean, Hajj and Umrah, but separated. You separate Hajj from Umrah. You start by performing Umrah, which we did discuss yesterday, how to perform the Umrah from Miqat up to Mecca. And after the performance of Umrah, then you remove the Ihram. You are now out of the state of Ihram. You continue enjoying yourself by putting the local or traditional clothes, and all the restrictions and prohibitions that were made for Umrah has been lifted. Then on the 8th of the Hijjah, you also intend to perform Hajj, which we also discussed it yesterday. So today, inshallah, Alamin, let me have that paper. Alamin, bani wannan takardan, karbi wannan. So today, inshallah, we want to discuss about the special needs of we the men. We left the women because of their secrecy. So they discuss their own and we discuss our own. Lakum dinukum waliya din. We don't have much of special needs because I know traveling is part and parcel of most of you. So they know what is required when traveling. Number one, we mentioned yesterday that anything that is illegal, please avoid taking that, anything that is illegal. Even if it is going to pass through, like Goro, you will see a lot of people from Kano and what have you. And don't allow anyone to, enslave you by, please hold this bag for me. I remember 2010 when we traveled with my father. My father, used to carry a big bag for someone. He suffered a lot. It was Goro. He sold it with so much money. He was lucky enough it passed through. But sometimes they will take it away. But what I'm saying is, anything that is illegal, just leave it. You are going there for ibadah. You are not going there for business transaction. Even though business is permissible after the Hajj, but try to maintain the status quo of maintaining whatever is halal, let's do it, and whatever is prohibited, even if it is halal in your country, is a permissible in your country, if they say they don't like it, please leave it. And then number two, there are certain things like one of the special needs I mentioned here is the medications. If you have any sickness or illness that requires special medication, so please try to take the medication with you. And that medication should also be prescribed by a medical personnel, maybe a written one, because maybe we have some medicine that they don't have in the Saudi Arabia. They may think that medicine is drug, even because they could find out, they will waste your time. So anything that is special for you, as far as medicine is concerned, try to avoid it. To take it with you and avoid whatever is not necessary. Then the second one, I also mentioned here about the special needs is the aids. Anything that is going to aid to provide help and assistance for you, special hearing aids, maybe glasses, maybe whatever you think you need. The glasses are there, the hearing aids are there, and sometimes even there are this inhaler, is very important. People may not know your condition, and not all the group you can find someone that has inhaler. So try to take it with you. May Allah protect us. And then I also mentioned the clothes. We are not going there for show, we are going for ibadah. Sometimes I used to be surprised. I saw someone carrying about 10 sets of clothes, babariga. Are you going there for marriage? Even wearing babariga in the haram, it's a burden. And take a simple dress. You are there for what? For ibadah. You are not there to show something. When we come back to Nigeria, there was a time I went with babariga about 15 years ago. After finishing the prayer, one of the Arab man, he saw me, he said, he continued looking at me. After I said, he said, What is this? I said, Babariga. Say, what is benefit there? Don't you have the inner one? I said, the inner one is there. So what's the importance of this one? Don't you have 4 people there? Wallahi, since then I have never taken a Babariga to Saudi Arabia. And it's a burden, so to say. I'm not saying that if you take it is bad. Maybe on Salah day you can wear it. But for you to carry 5, 10 different sets of Babariga, I don't think it's necessary. Take simple. Maybe you may need to carry maybe like 3 or 4. Maybe it's enough for you. When you go there, you buy Jadafia attached to those that you are having. Maybe you need the local attire, take it with you. And then when you go there, buy a Jadafia attached to your clothes. But you, right from here, you have already consumed all the clothes that you are supposed to have. And while coming back, also you buy other things for the people. May Allah protect us. And then clothes I mentioned, simple. Okay, yeah, I also mentioned we buy soap and sponge from here, because I know maybe some of you may not feel the expensive nature of the money, but actually me, I feel it. And I feel bad living behind my country where these things are cheaper and I can still carry it with me. The sponge, if you're buying a sponge there, at least you buy 25 riyals. And 25 riyals, you're talking of 7,500, or even if it is 400, you're talking of about 10,000. How can you buy a sponge of 10,000? It is in Sahad here, 1,500, 3,000. And you're going there to buy it 10,000 naira. Even the soap, the common soap here, maybe it depends on which one you use. But at least it's cheaper here. You buy your soap and sponge. And if you are living with people there, I also advise that you don't leave your soap in the bathroom. If you can bring it out and separate it where it is going to dry, is better. Because some people, they will go and use your soap, and you don't know the kind of people you are living with. Some might have some diseases, either skin disease, it may affect you. So try to maintain that. But if you live in an elite environment where everyone knows himself and you know that you can, there is nothing wrong in leaving it inside. But if you are attached to some planning, may Allah guide us. So I also mentioned the toothpaste and brush also, we should buy from here. It's better and it's cheaper. At the same time, slippers, Nigerian slippers are really strong. If you miss Nigerian slippers, you go there, you buy the Chinese made slippers, before you know it is going to start itching you from the down. Very soon it will fade. So buy from here. We have better slippers. If there is anything we produce better, is the slippers here in Nigeria. Wallahi, I really salute the courage of Nigeria for the slippers here. So please have, even if it's one set, you can buy 2 for a brother, but at least have a 1 for your son. My brother, Dr. Salim, also mentioned yaji. Yaji is important, this pepper. So because their food is tasteless, so to say. The taste there, we know we enjoy Maggi and yaji. So before you know, you will not enjoy the taste of their food. Maybe this yaji will help you to have, to feel the...
It's not prohibited.
No, it's not prohibited. But if you take it in large quantities, it's going to be cautioned. What are you going to do with it? They may think there's something that you're putting inside. But just a quantity that will be enough for you for maybe 2 weeks or a month is not prohibited. Then after all this, we are going to also talk about Medina. Yesterday, we discussed about going to Medina, that is not part of the Hajj. It's entirely a different ibadah. And that ibadah is visiting the historical sites of Medina and those that are attached to rewards, like the Masjid al-Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, which is the foremost, is the most important of all of them. Why? Because the messenger mentioned, لا تشد الرحال إلا إلى ثلاثة مساجد. No one should take a provision to visit any masjid except the 3. Masjid al-Haram in Makkah, Masjid al-Nabawi in Medina, and Masjid al-Aqsa, Jerusalem. These are the only three mosques that has a different rewards while praying in them. So you are going there to visit the Masjid al-Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in which the Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if you pray one single rak'ah, it's more than praying 1,000 of it any other masjid, even if it is National Mosque or An-Nur Mosque for some people who are having the elite mosque. Then in the Masjid al-Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, there is also the graveyard where the Messenger, Prophet Muhammad alayhi salatu wasalam, and his two companions were buried. So this visit is also important. You are going to be rewarded for visiting the graveyard of the Messenger. So when you go to Masjid al-Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, if you are going to enter, it's the same thing as any other masjid. Bismillah wa salatu wa salamu ala rasulillah. Allahumma ghafir li dhunubi waftah li abwaba rahmatik. Or Bismillah, Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa salli, you enter the masjid with your right foot. Then after entering, if it is time for nafila, you pray nafila. Even if it is not time for nafila, so far it is masjid, tahiyatul masjid, you pray nafila. That 2 rakats that you pray, you need to pray more than 1,000 of it in Nigeria before you can get the same reward. And at the same time, praying the other obligatory prayers in the congregation is very, very important. Let's start adding to our obligatory prayers the special prayers. Maybe 2 or 4 rakats before Zuhur, 2 or 4 rakats after Zuhur, 2 or 4 rakats before Asr, then 2 rakats before Maghrib, then 2 or 4 or even more than that rakats after Maghrib, then 2 before Isha, maybe 2 after Isha, then the Qiyamul Layl, and other things that you'll grab a lot of, you make a lot of rewards before you come back home. That's the importance of spending this money. I used to tell the Saudi authority, I said, we are not going there for business transactions. We are going there for rewards. So why are you making things difficult for us? We just want to go there to worship Allah. So try to use the time that you have and the opportunity judiciously by praying a lot in Medina before going to Makkah al-Mukarramah. So Masjid al-Nabi is one of them. The second part of it is like I mentioned, the graveyard of the grave of the Messenger alayhi salatu and his 2 companions. And if you are going there, the manner in which the scholars mention how to visit the grave of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam, if you enter through Babu Salam, Babu Salam is the first gate. That is called Babu Salam from the right hand of the masjid. That is by the right hand of the masjid, the first gate that will enter the masjid, Babu Salam. It goes directly to where the grave of the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam is. You know, remember the graves are inside the house of Nana Aisha, the room of Nana Aisha. When the Messenger died, now the companions were arguing, where do we bury the Messenger alayhi salatu wasalam? There came Abu Bakr, he said he overheard the Messenger saying, wherever a messenger died, that's where Allah wants him to be buried. And therefore they buried him where he died, exactly where he died. So after the death of his friend Abu Bakr, he also asked his daughter Aisha that if she can allow him to be very close to his companion, and he was buried there. So remained only one space. She said, I wanted to be here, but unfortunately or fortunately, Umar sent for her because he died before her. When he was attacked and he was wounded, injured, he asked his son to go, Ibn Abbas, and said, please go to Aisha. I'm appealing, please, if she can allow me to be buried there after my death. She said, who can deny Umar his request? But I have reserved this for myself. But since Umar asked for it, let him be buried here. So Umar was buried there. So from the time Umar was buried, Aisha has no place to stay, so she has to leave. The room is very small. It's not like our own, where you have a football field as a room. So it's very small, and that's where the Messenger ﷺ was buried. Let's say, okay, where is the Qibla? Okay, this is the Qibla. Now this is the Qibla, and then this side of the Qibla is where the house is attached. The house of the messenger is attached. All his 9 wives, the rooms are there. So the house of Aisha, being the first room to be built, is the window of Aisha is always seen inside the mosque. So you can see the wall is attached to his house. The wall of his house is attached to Masallachi. So sometimes he said, it was reported that the messenger during Itiqab, because the window of Aisha is like this, so he'll call her and said, please comb my head. He will put his head there, she combs his head, then he come back to continue his Itiqab. That is social and Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what I'm trying to say is, if you are going, you come, like I said, okay, if this is the Qibla, for example, the house is here. Now the end of the Qibla, Babu Salam is here. You come through Babu Salam. As you are about to, when you end the wall of the masjid, then the house of the messenger started. Then from there, the house of the room of Aisha is here, and that's where they are buried. There are 3 cycles, or a symbol. And so those symbols, they are trying to show you the grave of the messenger, Abu Bakr and Umar. So the bigger one, the bigger symbol is for the messenger. They are not far from one another because they were arranged in order. So now when you come with all sense of responsibility, calmness and tranquility. You come and say, when you reach the side where the cycle of the messenger ﷺ is, you face it and say, Assalamu alayka ya Rasulallah. You can add wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You can add ballagta risala wa nasahata al-umma wa jahata fillahi haqqa jihadi jazakallahu anna wa anil islam wal muslim khaira. But that is not necessary. Just Assalamu alayka ya Rasulallah wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh is enough. You have already greeted the messenger. Then you shift a little. You move a little, then Abu Bakr is there. Assalamu alayka ya Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Or Assalamu alayka ya Khalifata Rasulillah. And that's one. Then you go to Umar. Assalamu alayka ya Amir al-Mu'minin Umar al-Khattab. Now the ziyarah has finished. So you can see it's simple. But because of innovations, we made it difficult for ourselves. People want to stay there and do innovations. Some people would like to touch, some people like to tell the messenger their problems. The messenger is not a creator. You cannot ask him anything. Doing that is a shirk. So, Ya Rasulullah, I want you to give me something. How could the messenger give you something? His own is a deliberation of the messenger, and he did. And he went back. Now, just greet him and go. And sometimes you see some people carrying their a paper with the list of names. You know, when they are going, they will be told, please, if you go, greet the messenger for me. This one will say, greet the messenger. He will be writing the name. He'll go, Hajj Koko is greeting you. They are wasting our time. And the asker, the police are there trying to pursue people to continue, but still, he will still stop there. They are causing, the delay of the passage. Now? You got it back? That is it. Yeah, they will tell you, if you go there, greet the messenger for me. They have forgotten that in every tahiyyah there is that greeting. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's the same greeting. It's just that you're opportune to be very close to the grave. But it's the same greeting that you did in tahiyyah. Assalamu alayka ayyuhan nabi wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's the same greeting you're going to say there. It's just that because you are very close to the grave, and then you are going there to do that. If not, there is no need. Is it clear? So after doing this, before this time, in the 90s, you are even allowed to go very close to the wall. And there is this building bricks where you can see the inside. So you can see the inside because there are building bricks. So people will be passing by. I saw someone in 1997. He was trying to put his hand inside. The asker was saying, Yalla, 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 ittala, ittala. He was trying to put his hand. Before you know, those asker brought him down. But you say, Alhamdulillah, I'm on Gaisa. This is innovation. Yeah, just to greet the messenger. Assalamu alaikum ya Rasulullah wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum ya Abu Bakr as-Siddiq. Assalamu alaikum ya Umar ibn Khattab. Khalas, you have finished ziyarah. That's ziyarah for the grave of the messenger. You're not allowed to ask the messenger. What do? You take it as tawassul, petitioning Allah. When you go out, you face the Qibla, you say, oh Allah, I ask you because of this visitation I did to the messenger, give me this and give me that. That's ibadah. As simple as it is. So this is the second place in the Masjid al-Nabi. The third one is the Rawda. And the Rawda has regulations here, this time around. There's an app. Dr. Salim would have been here to explain to you. He is an expert of IT. But there's an app. You download the app and then you apply. After filling the form, they will tell you the time that you will come. So when you go there, you show them. Because if you are okay to go, you show them. You just go there and show them. But sometimes, if we are lucky enough, if the congestion is not much, they just allow people to visit Rawda. But there is also regulations. They used to regulate their going in. In fact, there are about 2 or 3 groups. This group will be allowed to fast in and wait here. There's a demarcation. Another group is stopped here, another one is stopped there. So when this one, after those inside the Rawda were chased out, then this group will be allowed to enter. Then the next group will come and stay here, wait for the next turn. And then this group will have to come here, another group will come to here. That's the regulation there in order to regulate the crowd. Otherwise, it will not be good. So sometimes you see them and you say, why are they doing this? They know the reason why they are doing it. So as much as you can, if you go there, if it is through the app, you fill the app and go and visit the Rawda. They will tell you, by filling the app, they will tell you the time. If it is okay, they will say maybe 10 or 5 a.m. or this time in the evening or in the morning. Then you go there and visit the Rawda. Rawda is nothing but a part of Jannah. The Messenger ﷺ says, "Ma bayna bayti wa minbari rawdatun min riyadil Jannah." Between my pulpit and my house is a garden of Jannah. So if this is the middle of the masjid, where the pulpit, the minbar is, now you have left and right, isn't it? So the house is by the right hand side from the pulpit. So now from that pulpit up to the house, to the end of the masjid is a Rawda. It's a Rawda. So half of the masjid is Rawda. Half of the masjid. You know it's 100 by 100. So Abdullah Susuka Sawanna. So now this half of it is Rawda. The remaining half is not Rawda. And if you enter Masjid al-Nabi through Bab al-Rahma, you will see from the columns. From the columns, they have written, it was written there, it is being written there, this is where the Masjid al-Nabi starts. Hajj Masjid al-Nabi. So the pillars that started from the Masjid al-Nabi is written, but nobody knows. Everybody thinks everywhere is the Masjid al-Nabi. It was not as big as it is now. So from half of that masjid is Rawda. So they give time for everyone who has been okay to enter Rawda. So what do you do if you enter Rawda? Number one, Rawda is like any part of the masjid. Pray 2 rakats. If you have the time to pray more than that, you can do. After praying 2 rakat, the best you can ask is, since you have entered part of Jannah, as mentioned by the Messenger, oh Allah, as you have given me privilege to enter this part of Jannah, oh Allah, let me be among the inmates of paradise on the day of judgment. That's the best you can ask. You can also pray any other thing that you need. But there is no any hadith that said the supplications in Rawda is more than outside Rawda. In fact, if you're not able to enter Rawda, there is nothing wrong with your Hajj or going to Medina. There was a woman, we were about to leave Medina. She said, Wallah, I have not entered Rawda, I will not go. So what do we do? She said, Wallah, she's not leaving. She has not been able to enter Rawda. I said, Mama, what you do is, after we go to Mecca, you can still come back to Medina and wait for that Rawda to enter. Otherwise, how are we going to do it? Because our bosses are here to convey us to Mecca. And she's not ready to go. She says and I told her, entering Rawda is not part of your Hajj. Even coming to Medina completely is not part of your Hajj. So if you're not able to enter Rawda, it's not the end of the world. Either maybe you wait for the next time, or maybe you continue applying. Because sometimes you'll be applying, they will not accept it. So try to be applying until when you are allowed to do so. Or even sometimes you can join the group. Sometimes they will allow a group of a state. Just join them. Nobody will know this is not your state. Join any state. It's only when you join the white people, if you are black, they will notice it. Isn't it? But any black state or nation that is going there, just join them if you are not able to have the timing of yourself. Sometimes they will give it state by state. Say Nasara state is going, Abuja is, who will know whether you are Abuja or Nasara? We're all the same. So just try to make it as much as you can possible. May Allah make it easy for us. So this is the third place in Masjid al-Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam, and these three places, the masjid itself, the grave of the messenger, and the Rawda, are one of the important sites to be visited. The next one is Maqbara, graveyard of the Medina, the Baqi al-Gharq. This is where over 10,000 companions of the messenger are buried. All the wives of the messenger except Khadija and Maimuna, they are all there. All the children of the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam are all there. Imam Malik buried there. Imam Shafi buried there. Imam Ahmad buried there. So most of the famous scholars were also buried there. So you are going there to visit them. And when you go, what do you say? Assalamu alaikum dara qawmin mu'minin wa inna insha'Allah bikum lahiqun. If you don't know how to recite in Arabic, may the peace of Allah be with you, the dwellers of this graveyard. Inshallah, we are coming to meet you. May Allah forgive you, may give you and us also. So this is, in short, this is what you are going to say. And there is nothing more. And don't allow yourself to be deceived. This is the graveyard of this. They may show you graveyard Abu Jahl and say this. Because even kuffars are there. Before the coming of Islam, they used to bury their dead there. So the kuffars are there, the munafiqun are there. In fact, the commander of munafiqun is also there, Abdullah ibn Maktum and Ibn Ubay ibn Salul. So just say as-salam at them because you mentioned mu'minin wal muslimin. You are now greeting muslimun and mu'minun, and not everybody. And it was mentioned by the messenger that whosoever is buried there on the day of judgment, that maqbara, that graveyard, will shake. After shaking, any kafir and any munafiq will be thrown away. The remaining people will be taken to Jannah directly. So that's why the messenger said, Man istada'a minkum an yamuta fil madinati falyaf'al. Whosoever has the opportunity to ask Allah for death in Medina, should ask Allah to let him die in Medina, so that Allah, the messenger, will be his intervener. So this is the fourth one. The other one is Masjid al-Quba. Masjid al-Quba was the first masjid before the Masjid al-Nabi alayhi salatu wasalam. Why? Because when the people of Medina, about 70 of them, on the 11th and 12th year of Hijrah, on the 11th year, some few among them came to perform Hajj. You know, they perform Hajj in Jahiliyyah. So they heard about the messenger and he called them and they accepted Islam. When they went to Medina, next year they were coming to perform Hajj. They came with about 70 of them. And the messenger met them at Jamratul Aqaba in the night, because they were hiding then. They don't want anybody to know because of kuffars. So the messenger met them in the night, and that's what is called Laylatul Aqaba, the night of Aqaba. Those 70 people accepted Islam and promised to help the messenger alayhi salatu wasallam. They asked him to migrate to Medina. They are ready to defend him and provide some political asylum for him. So now, since the Hijrah will be next year, 13th after Nubuwah, after prophethood. So now they asked him, Ya Rasulullah, we want you to send someone that will teach us Islam. And there was this superlative man, that is Mus'ab bin Umair, who happened to be a companion that was born with a silver spoon, but later on he accepted Islam. His parents abandoned him, ignored him. He became very poor. Even the messenger used to shed tears when he saw him. So instead he said, okay, let me send this Mus'ab, at least to have a change of environment because of the condition he found himself. So he sent Mus'ab bin Umair to be the first ambassador, envoy sent to Medina to teach the people of Medina Islam. So when he went to Medina, he was hosted by a tribe called Bani Sulaim or Bani Salama, Banu Salima. Banu Salima, they are staying in that area of Quba. So they hosted him. So since he was teaching them Islam, and in the morning he goes to Medina, inviting people to Islam, and during the time of prayer he comes back to here and he lead his people prayer. He teach them how to pray. That's where a musalla is erected, just a small round masjid. So now, after the Messenger ﷺ migrated next year, now he was welcomed by his ambassador and the people. So the Messenger ﷺ migrated to Medina on Monday, and he reached there another Tuesday, about 8 to 9 days before he reached Medina. So when he reached there, he stayed and lived there with his ambassador, that is Mus'ab bin Umair, where he spent about 3 days. He went there on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. On Friday, he entered Medina. So during his stay, he also led prayer in that masjid, being the prophet. Now the ambassador, the president is here. So he led prayer there. So it was the first masjid. Now after on Friday, he left this masjid, that is Quba, entering Medina. That's why he was welcomed by the children. Tala al-badru alayna min thaniyat al-wada wajaba shukru alayna ma da'a lillahi da ila akhir al-poem. And then he entered Medina. When he entered Medina, the people of Medina were arguing. They were arguing between them who is going to host the messenger. So everyone wanted to be the chief host. The messenger came. When Hamza saw the argument is too intense, he said, okay, what we do is we will allow the she-camel of the messenger to go. Whichever house she knelt down, that's where we are going to house that's the person to host the messenger, alayhi salatu wasalam. And then the she-camel started moving. She will come in front of your house, she looks around, you will be praying, oh Allah, let her be here. She passed by. Until when she reached a land belonging to two orphans, Suhail and Sahal. There are two orphans, and this land is being used to separate dates for drying dates. So when the camel reached there, she knelt down there. Then the messenger said, this is where Allah wants me to build my house, my masjid. Who owns this land? They said, Ya Rasulullah, it's owned by some orphan and I am the custodian. We'll give it to you, I will pay. He said, no. Mention the money we pay. He said, no. Ya Rasulullah, we give it peace sabilillah. He said, no. We want to pay. And after the price was mentioned, he said, Abu Bakr, pay this money. Why? Because the messenger did not want anyone to say, I am the one that built this masjid. I am the one that gave this land. But he knows Abu Bakr will not say it. And he has never said it. He said, Abu Bakr, pay for the money. Because Satan may make you to feel, I was the one that gave land. Why? I should have a special place in the masjid. I should be this, I should be that. I remember someone came to our masjid. He said he wanted to donate 50 million, but if he's going to be made the chairman of the committee, say, oh, we don't want you to donate. So that's why the messenger asked Abu Bakr to pay the money, and he paid. And the first thing the messenger did was to start foundation of his masjid, not even his house. So he started with masjid, not his house. So they were building the masjid. The messenger himself be carrying the building bricks, leading by example. The companions were helping him. So that's how the messenger's masjid was erected. But who took the hostship of the messenger? There's a Sahabi called Abu Ayyub al-Ansari. When he saw people that are doing like this, going to making preparations for building the masjid, he took the luggage of the messenger, he took it into his house. So after the messenger, after it was evening, the messenger said, where is my bag? He said, yeah, Rasul, it's my house, come to my house. He said, okay, I'm going to someone who takes my bag. So he became the chief host. Allah is choosing him for that. So until when the house of the messenger, he remained there in the house of Abu Ayyub al-Ansari until when the masjid is completed and the house of the messenger, 2 rooms were erected and they were built. He brought his family there. So now I'm trying to say, after the messenger ﷺ said, whosoever performs ablution and goes to Masjid Quba and perform just 2 rakats will be rewarded like performing Umrah. So if you go to Medina, you will perform Umrah even before leaving Medina. You have the reward of performing Umrah. Just 2 rakats in Masjid Quba. And that's why we are visiting the Masjid Quba. You perform ablution from your house, you go there. The messenger used to go there every Saturday, either by trekking or he will ride on his camel and go there and pray 2 rakats and come back to his own masjid. So this is another place that we are going to visit in Medina. Another one is Uhud, Mount Uhud, where the second battle of Islam took place and 72 people attended martyrdom. They were martyred, Hamza, and the most of the first ambassador, they were all dead. They were killed during the Battle of Uhud. So we are going there also to visit their graveyards. The messenger said, "Zuruhum wa sallimu alayhim, fa innahu la yusallimu alayhim musallamun ila yawm al-qiyamah illa raddu alayhi salam." Try to be visiting them and saluting them. No one will go and greet them except Allah will return their soul to answer his greetings until the day of judgment. So you are going there also to visit that graveyard where those 72 people were buried. The 2 of them are Mus'ab and Hamza. They were buried separately, and then the other 70 were buried as a mass grave. So you go there, the same what you said in visiting graveyard of Baqiyah is the same thing you are saying. Assalamu alaikum dara qawmi mu'minin wa inna insha'Allah bikum lahiqun yaghfirullahu lana wa lakum. It is there written on a billboard. It is there in English, in Arabic, and in some other languages. So you can read from there what you are going to say. That is another place for visit. So these are the only places that you get reward for visiting them. Any other place you are just going there for history, like Masjid al-Qiblatayn, a masjid that has 2 directions of the Qibla. You are going there to see the historical aspect of Islam. What happened was, when the Messenger ﷺ migrated to Medina, he met the Jews. They came to Medina before him. So now Allah asked him, instead of facing Kaaba as a Qibla, now you are going to face Jerusalem, where the Jews were facing. Why? Because it has been mentioned in their book that one of the attributes of that last messenger that is going to face your Qibla for some times. And therefore, to confirm this prophetship or prophethood, Allah asked him to be looking at their Qibla. So the messenger did not want to face the Qibla, but it's a command from Allah. So he has to do. He faced the Qibla for 1.5 years, about 18 months facing the Qibla. They were even mocking him. Look at him, he said, we are not on the right religion and he's facing our Qibla. This thing disheartened the messenger, but there is nothing he could do. So one day he visited an area, a tribe where someone died, and he went for condolence visit. And it was time for prayer, and he was leading the prayer in that area. He was leading the prayer when the verse 142 of Surah Al-Baqarah was revealed. Allah said, "Qad narata wa qad taqallubu wajhaka fis sama." Certainly we are seeing you looking up and down in the heaven, in the sky, waiting for a revelation to ask you to turn to your qibla. فَلَنُوَلِّيَكَ قِبْلَةً تَرْضَهَا. We are going to turn you to the qibla that you desire, you wanted. Instantly Allah said, فَوَلِّ وَجْهَكَ شَرَّ الْمَسْجِدِ الْحَرَامِ. Turn your face to look at the Masjid al-Haram. So he was looking like the Jerusalem on the east, and then now he was asked to turn his face towards Kaaba. So now the messenger turned his and face toward the Kaaba, and the companions were also asked to turn their face toward the Kaaba. So which means we have the old direction of the Qibla and the new direction of Kaaba. Up to 1999, I saw those two directions, they were still there. I mean, with this one with the sign of Imam and the other one behind with the sign of Imam. But what happened was, people are full of innovation. People will come and pray here, Nafila, they will also face there and pray. So now the authority said, okay, what we do is we cancel this Qibla and make it an entrance. So that Qibla is not an entrance, but the name Qiblataini, two directions, is still there. So if you go to that masjid, you are just going there to see for yourself a masjid that is named Qiblataini. But there is no any other rewards attached to it. Even if you pray there, it's the same thing as praying in any other masjid. Is it clear? Then after that, because Masjid al-Qiblataini is closer to Khandak, where the Battle of Khandak took place, the Battle of Trench took place, we also branched there to see for ourselves those historical sites where the Khandak, the Battle of, in the 50th year of Hijrah, the Battle of Trench happened, where the Messenger ﷺ was advised by Salman al-Faris to go and dig a trench, a Khandak, that is a trench, in which if the enemies come from that side, they will be falling into the ditch without knowing that something is there. So that's what they used to do in Iran, because when they heard about the coming of the enemies on the 5th year, the Battle of Badr happened, the Battle of Uhud on the 3rd year. So on the 5th year, now they brought an allied forces, even from different tribes of Arab, to come and destroy Medina. They came with 12,000 armies, 12,000. In the Battle of Uhud and Badr, 1,000. During the Uhud, 3,000. And now they are bringing 12,000. And the messenger has nothing less than 3,000. So what do we do? He asked the companions, what do we do? Now, Salman al-Farisi stood up and said, Ya Rasulullah, we in Iran, we have if such kind of things happen to us, we will go to the side where the enemies are coming through, we will dig a trench, so that they will be falling there, will be following them to kill them. And that's where the game started. So the messenger left his haram, he went to that area where the side of the enemies, where the enemies are coming through, then they were digging the trench. Though the battle did not happen, Allah took the responsibility of fighting the enemies by sending a very strong wind that sent them back. So if you are going there, you are going to see just historical side. There is no reward attached to it also. After this, then we have some other masajid for history. We have Masjid Abi Bakrin, very close to Haram. In fact, it is a stone's throw to Haram. We have Masjid Ali, is also very close to Haram. We have Masjid Usman ibn Affan, very close to Haram. We have Masjid Umar, very close to Haram. We have Masjid Gamama, where the Messenger ﷺ did perform the prayer for asking for rain, and it rained, and it's called Masjid al-Gamama. They are all very close to Haram al-Madini, very close to the Masjid Nabi ﷺ. All this could be seen by you just as you are going to the Haram. There is Masjid Abu Dhar in the Ghifari, where we call it Masjid al-Jinn before, and other places. These are only the places that maybe you may need to go and visit, but the most important are these 5. Masjid al-Nabi, Rawda, grave of the Messenger, Quba, and Uhud. These are the only ones that has any reward, but any other one there is no reward. You just go there to see for yourself an historical side of Islam. Jazakumullahu khairan.